Dogs playing in a yard in south central Los Angeles. But these dogs are not your average family pets, and Cesar Millan isn't your average trainer. An extraordinary affinity with dogs and a legendary ability to tame even the most difficult has led to Cesar Millan being known as the dog whisperer.
So we allow them to get to level number 10 of excitement, and then we have to bring them right back, because it's easier for them to get into the red zone. And the red zone means they're gonna fight and they're not gonna let go. Or they all will jump on the guy who's in the bottom, and that's gonna be a big trouble. And the way we need to address ourselves is eye contact, body language, and energy.
Film star Will Smith's Rottweilers have passed through the dog whisperer's hands.
If you can see his eyes, they are sending a green film. Can you see it? That only happens when a dog is enraged. Dennis Rodman bought him, and the dog was already very intense. You know, it's like adopting Osama bin Laden, that frame of mind. Red zone, killing, no problem.
But big dogs belonging to big stars aren't the only ones with problems. Owners can also find their Chihuahuas or their Miniature Pinzers difficult, and small dogs need different exercise and different handling to the large breeds.
This is what is normal out there in the world. Oh, how cute puppy. Oh, let me carry him. Oh, look at him. He's so pretty. And they put the dog all the way on it. The dog didn't get to do anything. Come on, Missy.
Born on a small farm in Mexico, Cesar's family used working dogs.
Missy.
But it was observing them in packs under natural conditions that taught him how to connect psychologically and spiritually. Arriving in the United States 8 years ago, Cesar was appalled by first world restraining methods, choke chains, shouting, beating, and misunderstanding a dog's nature. He believes it's about building a relationship between dog and owner. And once understood, the dog can truly become man's best friend. Cesar's equation for balancing a dog's life is affection, domination, and exercise. Every day, Cesar will take his pack for a long, hard run. It's an essential part of the dog's psychological training. Naturally dominant breeds can't be allowed to dominate others, as this massive grey Cane Corso wants to do.
Right now, my eyes have to be on him. I'm gonna show you why my eyes have to be on him. There, see? He's a young pup, Barry.
But having stepped right out of line, the dog is quickly subdued. Big dogs need big exercise to channel their natural energy and allow them to relax. All the dogs in Cesar's care have been brought to him because of their aggression, an aggression their owners have been unable to control. Cesar says dogs are not born unstable. They become unstable by living with a human who is not fulfilling their physical and psychological needs.
I think one of the biggest mistakes people make when they acquire a dog is that they get the wrong dog for their life. You know, they're a couch potato, and then they get a Weimaraner who wants to run 20 miles a day, and then they can't understand why the dog is driving them crazy. Or there's somebody that's a jogger, and they get a Basset Hound, and then I get calls that the dog doesn't have enough energy for them. And those are just the minor problems. Quite often, people get serious working dogs like Border Collies or whatever, and they just are not capable of giving the dog the outlet that that dog really needs to be a happy, loving companion to a family, to a person. It's really, really critical to pick the right dog for your skill level and for your lifestyle.
It's in kennels such as these that many difficult, aggressive, and unwanted dogs end up. And while the aim is to retrain the dogs for adoption, this isn't always possible. The extreme dangers the dog can pose was brought home to millions of Americans following the killing in San Francisco last year of 33-year-old Diane Whipple by her neighbor's 2 Presa Canario fighting dogs. Whipple's death and the subsequent high-profile trial shocked America.
A second officer arrived.
The attack by the 2 dogs, owned by defendant Majorie Knoller and her husband, was graphically described in court.
Run away from Diane Whipple. And she too saw Diane Whipple naked, covered in blood, in a pool of blood, pushing herself up with her throat ripped out.
Evidence of the horrific details of Diane Whipple's death, she was bitten 77 times, was shown in the police photos of the injuries inflicted by the 2 56-kilogram animals and by police video showing the hallway of Whipple's apartment where the attack by the dogs took place. Barney, the male, was destroyed immediately. Knoller and her husband were found guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Miss
He is
Whipple
serving 4 years in jail.
stops
She will
moving.
be sentenced this month. Last year, Cesar Millan visited the San Francisco Animal Shelter to observe the behavior of the female dog Hera for court testimony. Hera's owners, Majorie Knoller and her husband, had been engaged in legal proceedings to keep the dog alive, a battle they lost when Hera was put down before the trial opened in February. Cesar Millan may not have been able to save Hera, but he fully expects to rehabilitate the dogs under his care and return them to their owners. After exercising in the hills above Los Angeles, the dogs spend the afternoon exercising at the beach. Amongst them is another unstable individual. Kai is a black Labrador, a breed frequently trained as guide dogs for the blind, and not therefore normally associated with aggression. But Kai has not had this background and was rescued from the shelter by his current owner, Sarah Tyerman. Sarah turned to Cesar when things went badly wrong for her with the over-dominant, unstable 6-year-old Kai.
Cesar said that I was like his woman, like his bitch. And I guess I could see that. He was very protective over me, wouldn't let my boyfriend and I touch each other, even like pat on the back. He would always get in the middle and like start frantically howling and jumping on us.
Cesar believes Kai is curable, but Sarah is still very fearful after a vicious attack by her own dog.
I was told that you're not supposed to move. When a dog bites you, you're just supposed to sit there and say no, out, or whatever.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I mean, he's under the coffee table and I'm like this, and it's like 2 in the morning,
Oops.
and I'm exhausted,
Yes.
you know? And I just looked at my hand, they were bleeding so much. And I just went to the bathroom and tried to wrap them up because they were bleeding all over them. I had 40 puncture wounds on my hands. You can see the top scars right there. And then on this side, I have a bunch of scar tissue. And then right here, I can't feel the entire side of my finger.
Sarah's family thought the dog should be destroyed, but she tried everyone before she heard of Cesar. Kai has been with Cesar for 3 weeks and needs another month. Sarah says Cesar picked on Kai's problems immediately and that his connection with dogs is incredible.
Look how his mind is gone, dude. Totally relaxed. So what that does to a dog is to stop and relax the mind completely, so he can, you know, go on again and do his activity. But that's the job we need to do with them, is to constantly remind them how they're supposed to be with us and how cool they need to stay.
Clearly, Cesar has a magic touch with his charges. Without proper training, dogs become disconnected, and that's when things go wrong. His natural approach, training them as a pack, without choke chains or other restraints, gets results. But for some, the sight of one man surrounded by barking, snarling, jumping, unleashed dogs would be reason enough to take a walk on another bit of beach.